Tom, and I am here with a fun and so cute Mimeograph Monday, and it's using one of the brand new bundles that you can get starting tomorrow. So the catalog goes live tomorrow. I cannot wait. Oh my gosh, it's like Christmas in May. So this is the catalog. You want to make sure that if you are not a member of my Stamping with Die Facebook group, make sure you pop on over to there, because 10 o'clock in the morning, Arizona time, tomorrow morning, I'm going to do a flip through with the catalog. So if you receive your catalog from me, or another demonstrator, or however, or if you are a demonstrator, bring your catalog and we can, well, not bring it, it's virtual, but have your catalog and we can walk through or flip through the catalog together. All right, so I can hardly wait. So I'm going to make sure I'm in the right spot over in our group, and I think it looks good. Hey, Stacy, I did do a quick little live on my Stamping with Die page this morning, because I don't do my lives on there. So if you're a member of the Stamping with Die page, you can go back and watch it. But basically, I just explained why I use YouTube or my Facebook group for my lives, and not the page. So anyways, hi Eris, Jeannie, Rhonda. Oh, so good to see all of you here. All right, so I have some things to share. You should see, I'm not even going to say you should see my desk, because I think I say it every time. All right, looks good. Who knows? Oh, here it is. The puffin. I have the new puffin class coming. I'm so excited. All right. Okay, so let me spin, instead of me like wiggling my head all over the place. Let's spin the catalog. Spin the there we go. Spin the camera. I had a little message. So somebody's head was like right there. I'm like, ooh, can I touch the head? All right, so let's see. We are going to use, I have all these little ink pads around. And I'm also going to use the blending brushes. Now the blending brushes are back. I'm so excited. So what we're going to use is the Color and Contour Bundle. So I could scoot up just a little bit. Super fun. I got to tell you, I had quite a few of, hey Connie. So I've quite a few of my favorite dies retired, and then some I'm still keeping, and when I do a class in the mail, I may still use a retired die, especially when it's like just a regular shape, right? It doesn't go with a stamp set or whatever. But look how stinking cute this is. The scallops and the stitching and the holes, the lines. And this one, if I'm not mistaken, and I haven't used this one yet, I want to say that this one actually cuts a line, so you can slide a piece of paper or a ribbon into it. I need to play more, but I'm still pulling out retired stuff to try to get all that ready for my sale after we get back from Hawaii. But look at this stamp set. Oh my gosh. I love it because it's like two-step stamping. You can either color it in, or you can stamp that in there and you don't have to color. I love things like that. You know me, when anything has a splatter, I love splatters. And I also love when they mix a font. And what I mean by it is, like, this is just plain, printing, and then you have some fancy font within it. I love when Stampin' Up! Does that. I don't know why, it just makes me happy. So this is the stamp set that I'm going to be using today. Now I can't show you the catalog like usual, because I cannot open the catalog in online. till tomorrow, and then we will. So, but I got my recipe. So I love the recipes because I feel like I'm going grocery shopping. So I have my recipe, I go over, I grab the paper it tells me to get, I get my ink pads it tells me to get, and it's just like grocery shopping. All right, so I also want to show you, so I have been putting, especially if I know I'm going to be making multiples, I have made up labels on my label maker. And all I do is cut them a little skinnier. So I'm just cutting it a little skinnier so that it will fit on my brush. Now, I'm not saying you need a brush for every color. You don't. But I might eventually want one for every color. All right, so what I do is I just peel that off. Peel that off. And stick it on the brush. And then I don't have to worry about cleaning it in between. Because this card is so adorable. I am going to be making more. So I am going to be loading these brushes up with ink. And they'll just be ready for the next time. Okay, so Mint Macaron, Highland Heather, I will do the Pacific Point later. You don't need to see me do them all. Let me get all those little pieces. And like I said, I was getting all the retired stuff pulled out this weekend, but that also means I'm making labels for the new stuff. So those little pieces of label backings were everywhere. They were worse than the dimensional backings, I swear. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let me get what our pieces are. Okay, so our pieces are Highland Heather is our main card base. So I'm going to set that aside just for a minute. And I'm going to be using, so this is one of the gorgeous dies from the contour. And I'm like looking for my brush. Here we are. So I'm just going to rub this, because you know sometimes, especially when it's a new die, even when it's an old die, sometimes you just get like little pieces of paper. So I just take my little brush and I clean them off. All right. So it's like you're brushing your paper's hair. So then what we're going to do is we are going to take some Post-it notes. Now I'm looking at the one that I finished earlier. I don't want you to see it yet. Aren't I mean? Okay, so I have my Post-it notes, and I have the big ones. So I'm just going to count. So that's what I usually do. If I'm not sure what size something is in the catalog, and you're trying to do a Mimeograph Monday or a case or whatever, just kind of visualize. You might be able to look at the greeting and go, okay, that's about an inch away from that greeting, and it helps you get your sizes right. So this was the same way with this card. So what I did was I looked on the card on the catalog, and I just counted my scallops. So then I could pretty much tell about how thick it was. So this was 1, 2, 3 and a half. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and almost a 4. So then I'm going to take my, we put it on the right way, 1, 2, 3 and half of this one. All right. And then, now it just said to use copy paper or something, but I prefer to use the Post-it notes only because then it stays in place and it's really down there, so I don't have to worry about it lifting. Okay, so then the color I'm going to start with is my Pacific Point. So I'm just going to get these out of the way here. All right. So we have our Pacific Point and our beautiful blending brushes. I don't know if I told you or not, these are back. So if you missed out on these, now's the time to grab them. And I'm just going to ink this up. I'm going to get a little bit of it off. And then I'm coming up into my cardstock. And I'm just, as I get closer to that Post-it note, I'm barely touching the paper. So it's getting lighter and lighter and almost pretty much no color as it goes up. If it to be a little darker, you can do the same thing and then just kind of hit your edges. All right, we're done with the Pacific right that moment. We're not done with it totally, but we're done with it right there. All right, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Post-it off. And I just be really careful. These are some pretty sticky Post-its. So I don't want to rip my paper. So it was 1, 2, 3 and a half. So then I'm going to put my Post-it on here. So now my Post-it's here. And then I'm going to take another Post-it. And I'm going to measure, let's see, not measure, but count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the top. Let's see, make sure it's straight. So 5 from the top. All right, so this is going to be my next color. So this is very similar to, remember I did that ready form video? If you check back to some of my older videos, I did a ready form technique. This reminds me a lot of that. You're basically masking and keeping ink off of certain parts of the card. Now this one is the mint macaron. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to come out. Now this is a lot softer green, so it takes a couple more loads of the brush to get that right shade that I want. And then the same thing, as you get closer to that Post-it up there, just barely touch it. And then I want to get just a little bit on the edge, so that I'm just going up, like almost like a feather. Just kind of feathering that in there. Okay, so there is the mint macaron, so we'll set that aside. Then I'm just going to leave this one here because I'm done down there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one here. So it's going to cover that. And now we have our next color. And the next color is Blushing Bride. So let me get my Blushing Bride pad ready. And the same thing, just, so then we're just going to add, oop, you know what I do? I forgot the other Post-it. Did you see that? All right, so then this one comes down about half on that second one. It would help if I had this straight, because it's, I'm seeing the little lines underneath and it's visually driving me nuts. Okay, so I need to add that. I almost didn't. All right, so now we can go back to our petal, or Blushing Bride, and add that. And I inked this one not that long ago, so it's nice and juicy. So again, the closer you get up to that line, you're hardly touching it at all. Okay, move that out of the way. Then take this Post-it off, and basically you're just going to put it where you peeled it from. So that's why I like that you're not really getting color to color. So if you're a little off on your Post-it note, it's not going to be noticeable. All right, now we're going to use the Highland Heather one. And there's not a whole lot left of this amazing die, so it pretty much goes right to the end. There we go. Okay, let me move these pads out of the way. So now the fun part, now we can peel it off. So now we can peel it off. Now this is a photopolymer stamp set. And it was brand new, so like I showed you the other day, the little trick where you, to get sure that it's gonna accept that ink when it's brand new. Sometimes the photopolymers have, not a film, I don't know what's on them or whatever. Look how pretty this is on the back. Look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, it's like a rainbow. So what I did was I inked it up on my Versamark. Hi, Jackie. I inked it up with my Versamark, cleaned it off, and then it took the ink better. All right, so we are going to use Memento and the fun little flower. All right, before I do the flower, there's a greeting on the card. So I'm going to do my greeting first so that I don't put my flower too far over and then I don't have room for my greeting. So I'm going to do the greeting first. So this just says here for you now, and I love the sayings in this set. So this was one that we could pre-order early. As demonstrators, we can pre-order early. And I definitely snagged this one. All right, so here for you now, and in better days ahead. And that goes underneath. And then I just kind of let it release itself. Usually it comes right off. There we go. Then we're going to put our flowers. So then the flowers kind of stagger down the card. So we've got a flower here. And that's why I did the greeting first, so that I had my flowers where they had room. Because even though, you know, this is Mimeograph Monday and I'm doing a card out of the catalog, I could still be a little bit off. Hi, Sherry. Yes, isn't this set amazing? I love this fun flower. Oh my gosh, it's going to be a go-to. I know for sure. And then one here. And then there's a little sneaky one right there. Okay, so I'm just going to let that dry just for a second because I am going to go over it with some ink from the ink pad. Now, what I also did for the inside of the card, I did a piece of the basic white. And what I did was I just partially embossed it or die cut it. So simply that means is I took my die. So let me get my die out of the envelope. So I took my die and I put it on my Stampin' Cut and Emboss. And I put it on here. And I just ran it through till it cut this. And then I backed it out of the machine. That way, nothing happens here. And it's small enough that these aren't going to affect it. If you did something where this was going to affect it, like this would be over here and you didn't want that, then you could put your paper in the die. Hang on, I have to go backwards. In the die like this. Because sometimes like it would make more sense if some dies are different, but this one worked out perfectly that I could just lay it on there and I didn't have to like insert it, you know. But all you do, like I said, run it through just till it cuts and then back it out. And then you have the pretty little scallop on the inside of your card, and it's not, you know, that whole shape. Now, if you wanted the whole shape, by all means, I could have put the whole shape in there, but I wanted it just to be on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Highland Heather ink pad again and my blending brush. And I'm just, oh, that wasn't even. What the heck? Oh, see? Not good. Look it. See what I did? Now my Highland Heather has Pacific Point in it. And you know why? Because you know what I forgot to do to my pad? Watch. I forgot to take this off. Now watch this. See, this is where the name of the pad comes from. But also, let me get rid of that. Also, you have this. You have this little strip. And if I'd have done my pad ahead of time, like I was supposed to, I would have known that this one was not the purple. Because it is hard to tell. When you look at them like this, it's hard to tell. I mean, I could have turned it like this, but it's a lot easier to see it here. So now, our flower is going to be blue. And I will definitely have to wash my brush because now it's got Highland in it. But not a big deal. It'll wash easy. All right. So I have my blue. We'll just pretend I did that on purpose to teach you where to put that strip on the side. So I'm going to put up that flower. So now the inside of the card has a pretty little flower in there as well. Let me close that pad. So do you believe me? I meant to do that. I meant to make that boo-boo. Okay. So let's do that with my purple one. So I'm going to do the same thing because I don't want that to happen again. Let me get that away from there. Let's see. It doesn't really matter what side you put it on. It really doesn't. You just want it so that you see that, oh, that is Highland and not blue. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to take our little fun splatter that I love, and we're going to ink it up, and we're just basically going to put some little splatters on the flowers. And then I have to wash in between because we are changing ink pads. We have our green, our mint macaron. Clean, clean, clean. Then our brushing. You can hear me blowing on it, right? Make sure there's no fuzz on it. That's the one thing I love and hate about photopolymer. I can see through it. But they love fuzz. And I don't even have cats. All right. So then I just hold it up to the light and I can see if there's any fuzz. All right. The only fuzz I like is on a fuzzy peach. Yum. Okay. So then we have that one. And then our last one is the blue. And I want to do it on the inside of the card too. So we have a little blue. And there. Move that aside. And we'll do it here as well. Oh, so cute. And if you're doing an envelope, let's say we're doing an envelope. We're going to do our envelope too, because I'm going to make a bunch of these cards. So we're going to pick up our real Pacific Point and see, I should have put that on there. I will after, but I'm picking up my real Pacific Point. I'm going to do my envelope. You can tell I touched it there. Get our flower. And our dots. I lost my dots. Put our dots on there. Oh, isn't that so cool? So we have our decorated envelope. What's even more fun is if you decorate the back of the envelope. So we're going to get our Pacific Point again. And this doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to go through the postal service thing. So you know it's going to be a mess by the time the person really gets it. So it doesn't have to be totally perfect. All right. Our flowers. And I just stuck that piece of paper in there so it protects that envelope from getting yuckos. Uh-oh, what do we have? We need to have an odd number. So we need another one. All right, then we can put our splatters. Splatter. Oh, I love a splatter. All right, so now you have your cute little envelope for your card. All right, let me close these pads up because I know I'm going to get my arms in them. Ugh. That's just the day it is, right? I'm so excited. So, I don't know if I told you. Did I tell you? I think I did. Did I tell you? My fingers are getting all inky. But don't forget, I'm doing the flippers. Yeah, I told you that. I told you. I have to wash my hands. I got ink all over them. So the flip through is tomorrow, 10 o'clock in our Facebook group. I did tell you that. Okay, so then we got our cute little envelope. Now we got to put our card together. So I flipped my pad over. Let's get our cardstock. So this is just pile and tether. And I'm going to attach this with dimension because I want the shape of this to really be emphasized. If you glue it down, it's still cute, but by adding the dimensionals, it adds like a shadow because of the way it's off of the paper. So I love the look of that. Now the inside, I will glue right directly down. And that way you can write, you know, what you're saying on it. So whenever I send cards to people, I usually, unless it's like specifically, you know, their birthday or whatever, but like if I send like my orders, I usually do not write on them. I put a post-it note in there that says thank you for your order and all that, because I want the person to be able to use the card. So then they almost have an extra little goodie. All right, so there we have that. So see, by putting that dimensional, you can kind of see that shadow under there. All right, then the inside of the card, I'm just standing up so I could glue. So I'm almost emptied my seal. All right, then this is going to go on the inside. And it just makes it super fun. Emphasizes from the front. And then we have our cute little matching envelope. Isn't that fun? All right, so here you have our card, our envelope. Where is the one? Oh, so here's the one I did earlier. So they're pretty darn close. They look pretty much the same, except this one, I did the Highland Tether. Oh, and I forgot to put the little splatteries. So I'll go back and add the little splatteries. But, so hopefully you'll make that. Oh, Stacy, it's such a cute set. So when I went through the catalog, I was like, okay, I want to pick, obviously, something that was the pre-order. Because, you know, I wanted to use something brand new. So this set is a definite. I'm so loving it in the die. All right, so don't forget, we have a new month. So we have a new hostess code. So here is May's hostess code. Unless you are in my stamp club, and then you have your own code, and I already emailed that to you. So you don't want to use this code if you're in my stamp club. You don't want to use this code if you are ordering $150 before tax and shipping, because you want to get your own hostess benefits. Then don't use my code. But when you order $75 before tax and shipping, this is May's Inkcentive. And these are the super fun silver and clear epoxy essentials. And they are so cute. There's like teardrops, diamonds, and circles. So they're like silver backed. And then there's like clear ones. So they would look cute. I could have used those on here because it would almost look like water droplets on the flowers. So these are the May Inkcentive. That's something that I do. That's not something that Stampin' Up! Does. So it will come with your May thank you card that I will send you in June. So it doesn't come with your order. So if you're going through your order, you don't see them. They don't come that way. I also have a few more spots for the DSP shares, but those you need to let me know today. It needs to be paid by today, only because I'm going to get all that ordered really early. So anyways, that way I can get it all in and out before we leave for Hawaii. Bar that we don't have any back orders. All right. I also announced on my blog, my May class in the mail are the adorable party puffins. You do want to miss this class. So you will actually get the stamp set, and you will be doing, there'll be supplies for 9 cards. It's 3 cards, and you do 3 of each. And then you get the supplies. You get, I'll email you the PDF with the supply list, and in that PDF is a private link to the video of me making the cards, so you can make them along with me. So that is $55, so it includes all the stuff that I just mentioned, and that's in the United States only. Now, if you're a member of my team, I always offer them the classes for the 35 because they order the stamp sets on their own and earn their commission that way. So, but if you aren't on my team and you already have party puffins, you just need to pick a different item of the same catalog value, and you'll get that with your class stuff instead. So, but I think that was all I had that I needed to talk about. The catalog flip through, I mentioned that. I think that was it. It doesn't take much that my mind forgets stuff. So, if I forgot something, I will post it, Amy. But so, hi, Eris. This I love doing the Mimeograph Mondays, and like I always tell you, if there is something in the catalog that you go, you know what? I'm not sure how this is done. Can you show? Please, holler at me and let me know. And then I'll try to figure it out and do my best. Sometimes I do tweak it a little bit. Sometimes I put the ribbons differently or whatever, but usually, like this one, I mean, I did the inside, but it was Stampin' Up all the way. So, okay, so that is all for me today. I will see you 10 a.m. Arizona time. So you will see me twice tomorrow. So 10 a.m. On my Facebook group, and that will be the catalog flip through. We are going to go through that catalog and drool all over it, and hopefully that will help you figure out what you need. Mm-hmm. And what else? And then tomorrow at 3 will be my Teach Me Tuesdays. So I thought, I was going to do it on one, and I'm like, I'll just do two separate ones. But they're both on Facebook tomorrow. All right? Okay, so let me know. All right? All right. Have a great day, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow. All right. Bye for now.